Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today? It is Saturday, July 30th, 2016, and welcome to my newest segment of the Weekend Review with a look ahead. What a week we have had with regard to economic data. Abysmal round of economic data on top of another one, on top of another one, on top of another one. Um, Out of control, actually. GDP missing the mark by more than half. First quarter GDP got revised down, and we just found out late yesterday that home ownership here in the United States has now fallen to an all-time record low. People, the middle class, as I have been saying for years, is being systematically decimated. Um, if you're part of the middle class, and I've been urging you to do something about it, you need to take action and you need to start getting the word out, because I can promise you, your very survival is on the line. Your livelihood is on the line. And unless there is great change, you're in a lot of trouble out there. And either way you want to cut this pie, um, we are all right now staring down the barrel of a gun with regard to what is coming here. Look, the stock market, we understand, is completely distorted from reality. Um, this this economic news, all of these rounds of bad economic news that we have had, GDP, should have pushed this stock market down thousands of points, but it's maintaining the flat line. It's trying to hold. Uh, but again, there's going to be a breaking point here. There's a lot of mixed signals right now coming from the stock market. I talked about this in a video I did just yesterday. Um, about 9 days ago now, I did a video titled The Perfect Storm. I talked about a convergence of three things that were coming together at the same time. Two of them have already played out. Cash moving into the bond market, cash moving into the monetary metals. Cash has yet to really leave the stock market at this point, on hopes that the Federal Reserve is going to do something. They're going to have to act. The Federal Reserve is going to have to do something. Helicopter money, negative interest rates to keep it propped up. But again, keep this in mind. All they're doing is distorting this worse and making the inevitable meltdown or correction to fair value, because that's what this meltdown is going to be, even greater. If you were to turn on the mainstream channels and you got Hillary Clinton out there trying to tout Barack Obama's economic policies as being successful, you got to sit there and laugh. In order to just keep things propped up, President Obama, in collusion with the Federal Reserve, this is how this works. The chairperson of the Federal Reserve serves at the pleasure of the president, has had to double the national debt. Double the national debt, destroying any prospect for our children's future, for your future. We can't get out of this. We cannot hit escape velocity, as can be seen very plainly by the economic data, on top of the other metrics they talk about all the time, the labor force participation rate, the money velocity. Incredible, really, how people can be so dumbed down that they can believe this stuff here. They're in some kind of deliberately induced, altered mental status. Seriously, they are refusing to see what is right in front of their face. And it's frightening. It really is. And I'll tell you something else. Look, I'm not just badgering or beating up here on the Democrats, because it doesn't matter who's in the White House anymore at all. We have hit that critical mass. It's just a matter of time before all of this starts to unfold. The market is going to correct to a fair value. Period. The end. I mean, I don't know another way to put it. Everyone's talking about a crash and this, and it's not really a crash. It's, that perspective, it can be looked at in that perspective. But what it really is distorted assets finally achieving a fair value. And it's going to be epic. There's no doubt about it. All right, so let's move forward here just a little bit. So we're getting a lot of mixed signals from the stock market again. We've seen two of the three things I spoke about 9 days ago play out. We're waiting for that third. In the video I did yesterday, I was saying this market is poised for a big move, and I do believe it is. It's very difficult right now to say which direction. If I had to choose one, I'd say it's going to be lower. There's a couple of things that are coming into play right now. I think we're going to see cash probably come out of, you're probably not going to like to hear this, we're going to get a little bit of a pullback here with regard to the monetary metals. Why? We've had an incredible run up in the past just over a week. Just like I said would happen. When anything runs up like that, you got to expect a little bit of a pullback here. You need it to make the next leg higher. Oil. Crude oil has taken quite a wallop. The energy sector has gotten punished. I believe we could see a little bounce here with regard to crude oil and the energy sector. We'll see how that plays out moving forward. I think we could see the dollar get a little bit stronger here as well. And we'll see how that affects things again. And that plays into what may happen here with the market. If I'm correct here, and the dollar does rise, you could see some pressure here on the stock market. And that would, again, play into that third leg that I think is going to happen. We're waiting for it to happen. Again, we're going to be ready for anything. If, in fact, this market decides to rocket higher, how? I'm not really sure how. But again, we know this to be true, that these world central banks are getting involved in the markets using dark pools to buy stock. They're actually adding to their balance sheets, stocks to their balance sheets. There's no doubt about it. So they're not just buying debt anymore. They're actually buying up the stock market to try to keep it propped up. There's no way to prove what I'm saying. No one can do that because of the dark pools. That's why they're set up like that. They're these private exchanges where you can't see in them. That's why they're called dark pools. But I can guarantee you that is what's occurring here. And I think the other thing this week was the Federal Reserve, who can't do a thing. They can't even raise interest rates 1/4 of 1%, 1/10 of a percent. Can't do it. And that's another thing that is keeping this market higher. And again, just creating more distortions. Well, the Federal Reserve has lost all credibility. There's no doubt about it. And I think you would agree with me there. And we're going to see what happens come September. There's already talk on the mainstream that the Fed is out of the way completely, probably until 2017 at one point. I think they're out of the way forever. I don't believe they can raise rates at all. They are still trying to convince people that the economy is recovering. You got to be kidding me. They must really believe, which is unfortunately a fact, that the general population is brain dead and will just believe anything that they're told without doing any research, without thinking about it, without pondering it. It's embarrassing, honestly. But I would say this. On the other side of that coin, consider yourself part of the elite, and part of those that have the best chance of getting through what is coming. And that's really what I'm trying to get out here. Let people understand that this whole thing is not sustainable. It's out of control. You know, one last thing. Jeffrey Gundlach came out today. This guy is a bond king, if not the bond king. One of the bond kings out there, manages hundreds of billions in assets. He's telling people to dump stocks, get out of the stock market right now. He could be wrong, he could be right too, but he kind of sounds like Greg Mannarino too. So let's see how this plays out moving forward. Anyway, I know this has been kind of a long segment of my weekend review with a look ahead, but so much is going on right now. And I can promise you that this coming week is going to be interesting. And I will see you Monday, and we're going to talk about it. It is going to be, at the very least, fun. That's it. Over now.